Hi, this is K.N.Fitzwater. You're watching my channel, and we're going to move on to Hey and see how that goes. We had both come out to each other, we fixed up our friends' problems, and we had discovered Mr. Holden was a really cool card shark, and hopefully this will be a little bit more lighthearted. You grab the large beach towel off from your bed and stepped it into a bag. You had already packed your water bottle for your upcoming beach hangout session. The stars had aligned, and somehow everyone was free today. Miranda had set things up with several bubbly phone calls between you, Cove, and Terry to find a time to hit the beach. You were hoping this would be a fun time together. Oh my! Okay. Cove sat on your windowsill and kicked one of his legs into the air idly. He already had his swimsuit on, and his towel was bundled under his arm in a misshapen ball. He showed up early that morning with a surprising amount of enthusiasm. I'm not surprised. He was chatting as you caught up to his preparation. But seriously, I couldn't find my swimsuit this morning. I looked everywhere, it had disappeared. I have no idea what I was gonna do. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it completely vanished, somehow, just like your old sand pail. You totally didn't just lose your stuff again.
Seriously?
Very funny, Cypher. That was different, and I was 8. Anyways, I don't know why I was in the bathroom and I never put it there. He gave a small smile and readjusted the towel in his arms. You now could see that it had been folded at some point, but then rolled up and carried without much care.
I'm so glad.
But I'm just glad I found it. It would have been really crappy to lose my favorite trunks. Uh-huh. It's nice to see Cove so happy and comfortable in what he was wearing. You walked over to your dressing room, mused about how you picked out your own swimsuit. Oh, we're doing the whole swimsuit shopping? Really? You better have some really cool designs for me to look at. Your height had complicated your swimsuit shopping? Really? It's my height again? What's up with about height? Not many swimsuits are well fitting on someone who's petite. Actually, it's the opposite problem. I have plenty of stuff who could fit on someone of my size because all the shopping districts here cater to what I was back then when I was a teen. And it was not really cool in being targeted to those who are actually the main population size and body type. I don't know why they had done it that way. It was not cool. But I, growing up, didn't have a problem. I was always skinny. But it was not okay for the rest of the people. And then the shape for your body. Okay, so I would say slender. I didn't had curves. The only curve I had is that I had a smaller waist compared to everything else, but overall I was slender. And not delicate, not soft. I have a little bit of muscle definition. Back then, between high school and my undergraduation years, I was doing a lot of exercises, but I was really muscled out. Your build was toned and firm with muscles that were there, though slight in size. To me, that doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter for men, but for me as a woman, I cared more about whether I'm going to use the one piece or the two piece and how that fits about like my chest. Because the only issue I had is that I have this weird gap coverage issue. I don't fill in completely. It's a small cup size problem that I always had. all the time. And when I put on something that is a two-piece, like it's sort of okay for my bottom, but on the top it just like emphasizes how flat I was and it doesn't look all balanced. Um, and I don't like a lot of ruffly tops back then. Nowadays I don't mind, but back then I really wasn't. I really liked more sleeker 90s, uh, early aughts kind of style. I like the sleekness, you know. Give me like a scuba suit, I would have been happier. And there have been a couple of swimsuit I had like a scuba suit kind of style. But I digress. You kept mostly the same shape you had throughout your teenage years, which is true. You were used to your body, and your body was used to your habits. That's a weird way of saying it. You alright? Oh yeah, I was thinking about some things. Like the game like taking over my mind and making me think things that I normally don't think. Oh, what things? Just myself, my body, really. His eyebrow rose at your admission of self-reflection. And what do you think? What do you think? God. At that point in my stage, and from there on out, I had always identified myself as being a woman. I was really questioning in the earlier part of my high school, and really actually up to that point, I really didn't feel feminine um, until my mid high school up. Um, I really starting to identify what that means to me. Yes, I had small boobs. Let's just get it out there. Yes, I had small boobs. They were noticeable enough to appear on your silhouette, though that was about it. You like the size you had? I will not get implants. I don't feel the need to use binders, especially when you are swimming. You don't want to use binders when you're swimming. You used a binder, you left them as they were, but considering options for them, I would not do implants. I just accept for who I am. People had a lot of their identity wrapped up in their physical form. It shaped their self-image. Um, that is a real issue sometimes. I have heard about it from some people, especially with COVID. Um, if you guys just don't know how you style your clothes, how you style your hair, how you do your makeup, if you get into makeup, everything. Um, it kind of how you present yourself reaffirms how you see yourself, usually. And for those who are in transition or had already transitioned, for those who are non binary or uh, or even cross dressing. I know a dude that loves to wear dresses. Um, Sometimes it can be a little bit disorientating, where, like, oh, am I who I am if I'm not, dressing in a certain way? When I look in the mirror, my hair is really long. Am I really a guy? You know, should I have this haircut? Should I shave my head? Am I really a woman for having it in this style? Or just looking at your body because of what had happened with COVID. Things probably were halted, and you probably had to wait longer in your transition. And you just had this weird hiccup. And I heard about this, and I know that's so disheartening. Um, So I completely understand that it can be really exhausting and upsetting. But understand that you are you and you will get through this. And you are a beautiful being. Um, and no matter how you look on the outside, it's the inside that really counts. And you are who you say you are. No matter how the clothes fit and no matter how the hair is, etc., you're beautiful and things will come back into full swing. You will get that haircut. You will have that makeup on. You will get that dress or pants. You know, however you want to do it, you will get back into the groove. You're not alone. And you're all loved. Going back into this game. Am I confident or am I comfortable? I'm comfortable. I got to a point where in high school I had issues about my own self-image. I think everyone in high school went through that, and either you get over it in high school or it becomes worse after high school and you still need to work it out. And even then, it may be throughout your 20s or 30s until you have to decide that um, that everyone else's opinions are just their own opinions, and how you treat yourself is more important. And you have to learn to love yourself in all its shapes and sizes. I have to do that through my own maturing that I had to go through. My bottom half went from a small to a medium. I had noticed that I got a little bit frumpy in some parts of my body. I wasn't as athletic as I used to be. And part of it is COVID, part of it is me maturing because I'm in my mid 30s. And I just have to love myself and embrace that I am me. And eventually I'm going to have gorgeous gray hair. And I had to deal with that too. And wrinkles. And everything. So, what really matters is how you take care of yourself and learn to love yourself. And that's ultimately what comes down to it. If you just don't do that, you're not going to be able to have a shield against those who are just nasty. And you just don't need that in your life. Your body was you, and it was a good one that you felt content in. It's good enough. And I'm okay with it, I should say. Yeah, pretty much always felt good in your body. Not always, but that's just another thing. It was that way through your main growing years, and now you were an adult. You didn't see that changing anytime soon. You focus on Cove again. He smiled at you, tilting his head, a question still in his eyes. He was waiting for you to come to an answer. What was his question? I forgot. But before you could, you had something to say to him. Oh, here it is again. See, this is what stereotypically what most men are afraid what women would say. And it's the whole, does this make my butt too big kind of joke. And they have to avoid this question because they really don't want to hurt our feelings. I'm going to go with, what do you think about me as a person, not the way I look? Let's do that. Let's go deeper than the superficial, shall we? About how I look, I mean? No! Do you like me? Damn it. Cove smirked a little, his eyes taking you in easily. Oh, yes. I'm really soft on the eyes. Fishing for compliments, Cypher? You look great. Everyone knows that, including you, by the way. Unless that's changed. See, when I was growing up, no one has told me I look great. At least not often enough. Where I thought that was what people think of me. For the longest time when I was growing up, I don't have clothes that really worked with my body type. Same thing with glasses and how I did my hair. I was really... I look like a drowned rat most of the time, and it's very embarrassing. And it's just simply because it was not because I was impoverished. It's because I didn't have the opportunities to like expand how I dress myself. I was really stingy and taking care of myself back then. I didn't worry about like expressing myself in different ways, by different clothes, by different hairstyles until later in college. I was still exploring my femininity. Let's see. I didn't want a compliment. I was just asking. I could go that route. That sounds a very Elizabeth route. I laughed. I pouted. I wouldn't blush. Well, actually, I would, because this is still my crush and someone who I like. So I would. You felt your cheeks heat up and look away. Cove shook his head. His hand went up to try to unsubtly cover his smile. I was kind of worried you were so in your head because something was wrong. Guess not. I'm glad. No, it was the game taking over my mind. Hey, Cypher. Cove gave a bent smile, pointing to your arms. You're looking pretty toned today. His answer, not with words, but a solid, okay, with both hands and the same cheeky smile. Just right. Cove suddenly flushed when he realized how boldly he complimented you. He stood by it, even if it was a little red. Oh, okay. You were a little taken back. That came out of nowhere. You glanced at yourself. You like it? Like, really like it? Yeah. You have some good arms, too. I wouldn't stretch. I'm too much of an awkward banana. I can't flirt back. I can't. And I'm not I wouldn't go out and hug him. God, it's one of these three. I usually try to direct the comment back of, you look great too! Yeah! But I don't do it as habit. I do it if it's actually true. And usually everyone looks better than me. Really? So, I just do that. Because actually his abs look better than his arms. Not gonna lie. But I would try to say this, but I just know that I would stumble over it. So, we're back to the whole weird crush stage, where we're not really in a relationship. Cove ducked his head and started to rub his left arm. It seemed he was much more prepared to rain praise on you than to receive it himself. He barely could respond. Oh, thanks. You too. Oh, I said that right. Oh, thanks. See, I would have said the same thing as Cove, but we already established that I am Cove. We already established this fact. Finally, you felt that was enough of that topic for one day. You went back to your original goal before you got sidetracked. You need to pick out what you want to wear for the beach. See, I thought it was originally like this. And... here. Alright, let's see what the choices we have. I'm not going to wear casual clothes. No, thank you. I never had a good bikini back then. Good bikinis were hard to come by back then. I forgot what a bikini is. It's either a one-piece swimsuit or a wetsuit. I never do a Speedo. I don't do swim trunks unless I have something on top. It's either the one-piece swimsuit or the wetsuit. And I'm trying to remember when I did that. I think I did the wetsuit when I was in high school. But just before I hit college, I was doing the swimsuit. I shifted. So I think we're just going to do the one-piece swimsuit. I am not looking forward... Hold on. I am not looking forward to swimsuit shopping because I'm now going to have to consider 2 pieces to work with. I had a 2-piece in my drawer. What I had changed. And I know that one of those won't fit. I'm just now looking forward to going through all of it again. And just when we're getting out of COVID, I really am not looking forward to going into the swimming pools. To be honest, I'd rather go into the swimming pools next year. While you dug around in your drawers, you tried to think if there was anything else you were missing. A hat. Hat. Always a hat. Like, all the hats. With that taken care of, you held your outfit together and looked to Cove. He was tapping his toes on the side of the wall as he waited. You vaguely wondered if he thought that was a comfortable place to sit. You hoped so, given how long he perched on it. Regardless, it was time for him to go. You weren't going to put your beach wear with him just chilling there. I need to change. I'm going to transform. I'm going into my next evolution state. Cove smiled, content with being kicked out. Good. Go on. Scram. Cove lowered himself off the window and strolled past you to get to the door. He likely brushed his fingers against your cheek as he passed by. Oh, I thought he was going down the window. I'll see you out front. He caressed my cheek? Are we official yet? Okay. God, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Sometimes I wonder if I am Cove because he would do stuff like that. When you were alone, you got undressed and put your swimwear on. You also checked your beach bag for the final time, and it seemed like you haven't forgotten anything. You left your room and hurried down the stairs, ready to meet Cove. You made sure to lock your front door and walked outside. Cove stood in the road, looking down and scuffing his feet on the asphalt. When you shut your heavy door, he looked up at you and smiled. Hey! Hi, Miranda and Terry are going to be here not too long. Terry even texted me earlier saying she was mostly on schedule. Mostly. But not really. Why don't we just head to the beach and wait for them there? We're both ready. That sounded like a great idea to you. You said as much, and Cove shot off a quick text telling the two of them where you be. Cove gave you a thumbs up after the message sent. It was a familiar path to walk. It wasn't long until you reached the shore. Oh, nice! We actually get to hang out on the beach. It feels like forever. Not gonna lie, it feels like forever since we actually hang out on the beach together. Cove laid out his towel on the warm sand. You set up your stuff beside him and looked out into the ocean. The rolling swells hit the shore rhythmically. Y'all had lucked out. It was a beautiful day. The sky was clear, the waves are good, the sharks are chomping. Wait, what? It was a balmy summer day, but with a pleasant breeze to keep things comfortable. Essentially, it was perfect. Do you feel like heading into the water? Maybe just walk down the shore? Or do you want to do something here? Sandcastle! Wait, it doesn't have a sandcastle reaction! Ugh, I'm gonna flip this table. Let me think for a sec. The water sounds good. Taking a stroll would be fun. I don't mind my feet being in the water. You plan to just get some sun? Either way's fine. What do you want to do? I just do this. It's just easier. I had never been to the ocean. I'd never been to the beach. Even though I love seafood, I love fish and everything in between. I love watching nature documentaries, but I'd never been. And one of these days, I'm gonna have to. Maybe walk a little at first anyway? We could do that then. Cove nodded, accepting of the plan. He kicked some sand off his towel absent-mindedly. Yeah, sounds nice. You took a deep breath and tasted the relaxing salty air. Cove caught your eye and gave you a small smile. You chatted a little before a comfortable quiet settled over the two of you, content to watch the waves as you waited for the others. Luckily, it didn't take long until you heard shouts. You turned your head to see both Miranda and Terry running straight for you. Miranda was faster, making leaps and bounds across the sand. Terry followed in her wake, laughing with a towel clutched around her shoulders, flowing like a cape. Miranda started making her jumps more theatric and more precarious as she got closer. Cove waved them on with a bright grin. I would laugh. Cause it's cool. It's so anime. They always found a way to make such a memorable entrance. This is lovely. They're both great. Everyone looks great. I love her suit, and I love her suit. Oh wow, they all look great. I would have worn something like this when I was in high school, and currently I'm at Miranda's stage. Well, I was at Miranda's stage, I should say. So, now you guys know what I was talking about if you ever confused between sweatsuit and swimsuit. The two officially arrived at Cove's, and you're set up, looking completely ready for an ocean adventure. They were already in the swimwear and raring to go, just like us. Hey Terry, Miranda, welcome to our beach. Hi. Hello. She beamed and Miranda nodded with a smile. Man, I'm so pumped. Yeah, I'm really glad this worked out. What have you guys been up to over there in your town? Cove, Cypher, have you missed things? Come on. Tell us. Cove blinked and then shrugged when nothing he wanted to mention came to mind. I gave a recap. would know. They should know. We're that close. Your moms were the same as ever for the most part, although they were definitely still adjusting to you being an adult now. Liz had asked you to take pictures of her latest makeup look the other day. Oh, Instagram. There was nothing too traumatic going on right now. Terry nodded along and mentioned a couple of things about her own parents. Miranda brought up her family and shared some of the wild things her older brother had done. Please tell me. Why is this game summarizing? This is not cool. I would like to know about them more. Terry then started talking about her morning and how she almost overslept since she stayed up too late last night. She bounced on her feet as she spoke. But don't worry about me being tired today. You know I ran on less back during school. Miranda filled in the group about her morning. Apparently everything had gone smoothly. She met up with Terry on the way here and you knew the rest. Cove offers suggestions to the girls. Hey, let's walk while we catch up. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. I felt like we already did. We could have been walking and catching up. That should have come before this. Once everyone's stuff was settled on the beach, the group strolled over to the shoreline. The wet sand was cool under your feet. A wave rushed up and covered your ankles in water. You flinched from the suddenness of it, but by the next wave you were acclimated. You took another step forward and sank a little into the ground. Behind you, your footprints were soon smoothed by the waves. Your friends chatted as you all walked together. You took turns pointing out cool shells or pieces of sea glass. It was a relaxing jaunt. Hours passed. We spent hours doing this? To me, that felt like a couple of hours, maybe. We should be out there swimming. Even though I personally don't like swimming, they should have been swimming. The group had moved between different activities, some low-key and some more exhaustive. For you, it was another break time. You sat on your towel and sipped out some water. Your friends were hard at work burying Terry's full body under a pile. Miranda used her arms to force up sand around Terry's sides. Cove worked on covering Terry's feet. You took another drink and closed your eyes. I would have joined in. Come on, game. Eventually, a shadow passed over you, dampening the light that was still notable even beyond your eyelids. You checked to see Cove had joined you there. He knelt down to dig around in the pile of assorted beach stuff in the middle of everyone's towel setup and pulled out the sunscreen. He took a seat next to you on his towel. He opened the bottle with a soft pop and began to reapply the cream. Oh, does he need help applying it to his back? Hey. He ran his hands across his chest to work the sunscreen in. I might have checked him out a little from the corner of your eye while still sipping some water. You know, I just realized that if I do end up going to the beach, I want lemonade. I'm so that kind of person where I like to have my sweet tea or lemonade. Just sipping just water? I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with water. Water is cool. But I do like lemonade and iced tea. After he finished up, Cove let out a comfortable sigh and looked off into the distance. But then he sighed again, this time in an exaggeratedly disappointed way. You wonder if he was going to sigh again, even more dramatically if he didn't say anything. I wonder if he is going to do it again if I don't do anything. You wonder what it was. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to see if he says it. You didn't have any solid guesses on what was up with Cove. Given his expression, it was probably going to be something silly. Cove shook his head, comically despondent. His frown didn't match the sparkle in his eyes.
Don't worry about it.
I'm just becoming another jaded adult, that's all. Now you were really confused. You waited for him to continue, and his next sight did not disappoint. It was the most ridiculously sad sigh you had ever heard. Then he smiled a little. No! I was joking. Um, Mermaids aren't real. And of course, my character would go, "What?" But me, if I had heard that, I would be like, "No." Oh man. That had not been what you were expecting. He continued. You know how much I liked mermaids as a kid? Well, merfolk as a whole. I really hoped that they were out there. Okay, not gonna lie. Just like I believe somewhere there's probably a Sasquatch like creature or a Yeti like creature, there's a possibility of a mermaid like creature out there. Sometimes I think seals or narwhals are the mermaids, especially narwhals being the unicorns of the sea. Um, I just think that something similar is like that out there. And I believe that there. I know dinosaurs exist, and I think Loch Ness was a dinosaur. And I sometimes wonder if there was a creature that looked similar to the Loch Ness monster that inspired, the whole, monster, extravaganza tourism that happens there. So I believe in the grains of truth that created the myths that we have. So in a way, I still believe. I believe something similar to mermaids still exists. And it's probably a beautiful animal we had either already had discovered um, or have yet to discover or something. It's possible that it was an animal that had become extinct before we cataloged it. Because who knows? Maybe us crossing the oceans probably caused some issues. And we were just ignorant of it, so who knows? And dragons. It's possible we had monitored lizards in Europe that went extinct. Um, and we only had dragons or monitor lizards in the Indonesian Asia area, and that's it. Those are the only dragons we have, like the Komodo dragons. It may not be the dragons we would imagine in our fantasy novels, but that's our dragons, damn it. Anyway, I digress. I mean, the ocean's a big place, right? It could be somewhere, but the older I got, the more I had to accept it. They were just a fairy tale. He jerked his head over to the waterline in the rolling waves. They crashed against the shore, then drew back. This is a perfect beach for them. It's pretty and vast and never too crowded. Oh, I think there are better beaches, actually. If merfolk did exist, we definitely would have met one by now, or at least we would have heard someone saying one, but nothing. He acted as though that result was a true bafflement. He let his head hang. I gotta let the dream go. Or maybe you become the mermaid. You know what? I probably would do this because I'm sure they're more likely deep sea creatures, personally. Um, some form of deep sea creatures that we probably haven't discovered yet. Kind of like seals. In fact, I honestly believe seals or otters, um, probably seals that were dealing with a kelp, playing around with it, or just emerging halfway, and that was our mermaids. That's hardly proof. It's not like this is the only beach in the world. They could still exist. As you said, the ocean is a big place. Cove chuckled a little to himself, eyes tilted off into the sea, his face still low. Maybe it's for the best. Let's say a merperson did happen to wash up on shore one day. He looked at you with a faux doleful expression. I could have lost my best friend to their magical unwandered world. Well, you're just gonna have to live with it. No, I'm joking. Honestly, if a mermaid or merfolk wash up on shore, they're beaching, and it's better to put them back in the sea. Um, that's my biological understanding of merfolks. I know in the mythos, especially what they did with the Little Mermaid and all that, they can magically have two legs and all that. But that deals with magic. That's all on the Sea Witch, who honestly is not really a villain. She was just doing what was, asked for. So that's just my take. Anywho, yeah, I'd totally go live under the sea with the merfolk. Even if I had the chance, I'll stay on shore with you. I'll go with a merperson, but only if you could come with us too. Oh, see, I would not go with the top choice. It's one of these two. Let's go with this one. Cove grinned. He hadn't expected that answer. You're a nice person, Cypher, but what if they didn't want me? Would you seriously stay on land? You gave him a look. You meant what you had said, and only work if the offer was for both of you. Are you sure that's the right call? Dude, if this is about, do you love me? Would you stay with me forever? Then yes! If a beautiful, kind merperson falls for somebody, I'm pretty positive that the reasonable response is to turn and says, no thanks, I'm gonna stay on land with a normal guy. But he's not a normal guy. Also too, based on the folklore, sirens and merfolks are kind of one and the same. In fact, I do believe they are one. And merfolks are probably going to eat humans and other things. So I'm pretty sure if we do join them, we may be eaten. We may be a side dish on something. Are you warning me that you leave if you got that kind of offer? I would wonder about that. Why are you so sure I have to make that call? Since this is all hypothetical, why not have you be the merperson? I don't want that. I should get to be a mer creature, and then I invite you to the underwater world. Part of your world. Goodness. I'm torn between these two. I'd rather be the mer creature. Let's say that. What? That wasn't a suggestion he had ever expected. Just like the Spanish Inquisition. It caught him completely off guard and left Cove fully stunned. You, as a mermaid? Whoops, my secret is out. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, I am a mer octopus, and I come to take your soul. No kidding. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. Would you come with me? Please say yes. Say yes, damn it. In a desperate attempt to do something, he picked up the sunscreen bottle he had dropped. Cove started playing with the cat, taking it on and off. Does he squirt his face with it? Of course I would. Thanks, Cove. I'll be a happy merfolk. Now I have something to feast upon. He giggled, continuing to look deliriously happy. You couldn't help but feel pleased at how much your words impacted him. Then you heard Miranda screech. Your attention immediately switched over to your friends. You saw that Terry had gotten impatient and shifted her legs. The walls Miranda had meticulously building collapsed in a wet heap of sand. She surveyed the damage critically. We're gonna have to start over on that part. Do you just want to give up on this now? No way! The burial must continue. I try not to move anymore. Okay, if you say so, I'll try to fix this. Miranda started to rebury her and Terry shot her a thumbs up. She realized too late that moving her arm was a bad idea. More of the sand on her crumbled. And Miranda put her head in her hands. Cove caught your eye and started to drag himself up. Seems like we're needed. You agreed and followed him over to the girls. Miranda nodded at you both with appreciation, and the three of you did your best to finish the job. Yes, we know how to bury a friend. It's not like we haven't done this before. Y'all worked out a system of using just enough wet sand to help hold the rest together. With 3 people, it didn't take long for Terry to be entombed. Rest in peace. Terry grinned massively and Miranda offered high fives. The pie was officially done. Oh yeah! God. Oh, no, she did not. Hold on, I gotta get a better impression than that. Oh yeah! Okay, there we go. Resembling the Kool-Aid Man, she kicked herself out of the ground with gusto. Sand went flying in all directions, and Terry's shape imprint was left behind. Miranda yelled again, and Cove chuckled. There probably wasn't a better way to get out of it. The 4 of you continued to have a good time. You went on a shell hunt. Miranda managed to find the biggest while you find the most colorful. Cove caught a tiny crab. You did a bit of everything. There were impromptu games to just soaking up each other's company. After a while, y'all had run out of water, drinkable water, anyway. It was decided that you head to you or Cove's house. The things were gathered and you started to cheerfully walk up the road. What's next? I don't have anywhere to go, so it could be whatever. Say, I guess we can't keep hanging out. Totally. Let the party continue. Terry snorted and readjusted her grip on her things. Don't sound too sure there, Cove. By this point, you could see your house. I'm taking you along to make the trip. The conversation continued with everyone throwing out suggestions. Are people hungry? She looked from face to face in inspection. Cove and Miranda shrugged in concert. No one was overtly opposed to it. However, you weren't really starving. It wasn't quite a mealtime. It wasn't quite mealtime, not a mealtime. We could get dessert. Ooh, let's get a banana split. That'd be cool. Miranda put a finger to her lip and thought. With a smile, her voice became more confident. Yeah, that would be fun. Terry considered it, then shot Miranda a thumbs up. Sounds great to me. I could definitely go for that. I think that's a good idea. But there's nothing sweet at my house. 2 Coves! Your friends glanced at Cove in his place. He shook his head immediately. Dad doesn't have anything good either. I mean, unless you want dessert-flavored protein shakes. What? Ew, no. She cut in and held her hands up as if trying to ward off something evil. Cove smirked.
Not bad.
It's not that bad.
Nope.
Nope. Well, there has to be some kind of sweet shop around here. Let's look it up. Terry nodded and started to dig around in her bag. I like the way you think. Tara continued to rummage in her bag and grew increasingly frustrated. She puffed out her cheeks and knelt down, setting the bag on the floor. Both hands free, she was finally able to fish out her phone. She raised it up in triumph for the brief moment of celebration. Woot! I'll search for something good. Tara got back to her feet, hefting the bag over one arm, tapping away at her screen on the other. What? She assessed Cove from top to bottom. No shirt, no shoes, no service. Cove glanced down at his bare chest and feet, having not even registered it prior. He chuckled a little. Well, he has flip-flops, right? I'll grab something. I wouldn't think it's a big deal, but okay. Cove, move over to his house. You look towards yours. I mean, the girls are not changing out their swimsuit. You watch Cove disappear into his house. Terry was deep in the midst of scrolling through food options. You shuffled over to where you could see Miranda do the same. There's ice cream. People love ice cream, especially around here. I don't really feel like ice cream. Oh, darn. Oh, no! It's 2 against 1. Cool, because I don't either. She flicked her finger up, another ice cream place showed up. Melty Moo-Moo's frozen treats with an unfortunate cartoon mascot. I like ice cream, it's just not for today. There has to be something else. Thought on it, and Tara kept scrolling. You heard a door open, and Cove reappeared. Oh, cool! He's got that charity logo on his shirt. That's cool. Oh, wait. Maybe that's not part of the charity. Never mind. I know that's the name of the creature, but I think there was a charity that has Orca as its name. I could be wrong. You're about to be surprised at how quick he was, but then notice he just thrown a t-shirt over swim trunks and slipped a pair of sandals on, of course. That's fine. Hey. Everyone else exchanged their respective greetings, then looked back at Terry's phone. Terry scrolled further and then made an interesting exclamation.